God's word matters about everything. Sin matters absolutely everything. John's point is that violating God's commandment is as serious as it gets. Romans 7:13 says that the commandment is what makes sin exceeding sinful. The mere fact that God told Adam and Eve not to eat that fruit and they did it anyway, that's what ruined everything. God does not hold people accountable for things that he has not forbidden them to do. Romans 5:13 says, sin is not imputed when there is no law. Romans 4:15 says, where no law is, there is no transgression. If somebody does something that annoys you, but you never told them not to do it, you never told them that it annoyed you, then that would be one thing. But if you told them that annoyed you and don't do that, and they still did it anyway, that would raise the violation to a whole new level. That's defiance. And it reveals something about their attitude toward you, right? It's the breaking of the commandment that makes sin so exceeding sinful. In Romans 2:12, Paul says that those who had God's law, meaning the Bible, will be judged by the Bible that they had. But those who did not have the Bible, they won't be judged by the Bible that they never had. Instead, down in Romans 2 verses 13 through 15, he explains that they will be judged by the law of conscience, the moral law on the inside. They may have never had a Bible that said thou shalt not steal, but they had a moral nature that convicted them on the inside when they went into their neighbor's hut and stole something. And so the moral law that God's places within them makes them accountable. Furthermore, Romans 1:20 says that the very creation around us testifies to the reality of God's power and his deity, and all men are without excuse before him. So whether it's the light of the gospel, or whether it's the light of conscience, or whether it's the light of creation, all men will be judged by whatever degree of light they were given. And to whom more is given, more shall be required. Those who sinned against greater light will face greater judgment in that day. And every transgression will be treated as sin, for sin is the transgression of the law. It's serious. The only people who could escape judgment apart from the gospel would be those who literally had no law to be held accountable to, which is why we say that infants who die without a moral awareness do not die in a lost condition. God does not hold them accountable. But all of those of us who do have a moral awareness, who can look at the creation that God has given us that testifies to his reality, we are without excuse before him. And the law, whether conscience or creation or from the Bible, is what makes us accountable, and disobeying it is serious enough to get a man's soul damned to hell forever.